The Washington Huskies lost to Rutgers. Rutgers, 21-18. Yes, a very improved Rutgers team, but a team that we had no business losing to. The Huskies had maybe the most frustrating loss I have ever watched as a Washington Husky fan. Mistake after mistake, penalty after penalty, bad decision after bad decision. The Huskies have now fallen to 3-2 and could easily be 5-0. Disappointing, yes, but we move on. What's up, guys? The Huskies lost in incredibly frustrating fashion to the Rutgers Scarlet Knights. And it was a game where we made so many mistakes. And we're going to talk about them. And we're going to kind of analyze exactly what happened. And I'm just frustrated. I'm upset. And I'm ticked off, plain and simple. Now, before we get to that, I lost my bet on the Huskies plus 2.5 versus Rutgers. And you can bet on sports now in 46 out of 50 states using your mobile phone with the Rebet app. The Rebet app is available in Washington State and is completely legal, 100% legal. This is not like some offshore book. They call it a sweepstakes, but you can bet real money and convert it into real cash, betting on real games and real spreads using the Rebet app. But if you use promo code ONTAP, they're going to give you a bonus, $100 bonus up to whatever you put in. So if you put in $100, they're going to give you $100 back. If you put in $10, they'll put $10 back into your account for you extra. So use promo code ONTAP, download the Rebet app, and we can bet on the Washington Huskies again next week against Michigan, which hopefully will be a much different game. So now on to the game. The Huskies lost to Rutgers in a game where they had no business losing. We outgained Rutgers, 521 yards to 299 yards. We had 23 first downs to Rutgers' 15 first downs. Will Rogers, our quarterback, had 306 yards and 2 touchdowns, and their quarterback only had 115 yards and a touchdown. We had no turnovers. We did have 6 penalties, and the time of possession was pretty much even. How did we lose this game, you might ask? If you didn't watch it, I'm sure you did if you're watching this video. You know how we lost this game. We turned the ball over on 4th down twice, once on the goal line, 4th and goal on, I think, the 2 or 3 yard line. That cost us at least 3 points, if not 7. If you kicked the field goal there now, looking in hindsight, it would have been 21-21. That hurts. Grady Gross also missed 2 other field goals. 3 field goals, sorry. He missed 3 field goals in the game. The last one, as time expired, was tough, 50-something yards. And, of course, like college kickers have a hard time kicking the ball from that distance. And, yes, that's definitely part of a reason we lost, but that 55 yard, I think it was 55 yards, was really tough to make. Like I don't blame Grady Gross for missing a 55-yard field goal. We didn't need to be in that situation. 3 field goal misses, 2 4th down opportunities that we missed. We left so many points on the board, and we literally just outplayed them in every single aspect of the game, and we still lost the football game. Do you understand how frustrating that is? Let's go to right before halftime in the play of a game that I think was the most frustrating I've seen. There's been 2 really frustrating plays like I can remember in Huskies history. This one and the Jake Locker against BYU scoring and throwing the ball in the air and getting a 15-yard penalty, and we lose the game. But this one was a little bit different. The Huskies right before halftime were a 7-3 ball game. Got a stop on 3rd down, and Rutgers is lining up for the field goal. We block it. All looks good. Penalty flag. What happened? 12 men on the field. And no, it's not that there was 12 men lined up on the field. A freshman ran on the field to celebrate while the ball was still live, resulting in a 15-yard penalty. And now, a lot of people say it could be on the coaching staff. You got to be more disciplined. You got to do this. You got to do that. But as a coaching staff, you never expect a player to run on the field after a blocked field goal while the ball's live. And it was an obvious penalty. I'm actually surprised that it's not like a unsportsmanlike after the play penalty, because he didn't but it is. That's what it is. 12 men on the field. Frustrating. The Huskies had multiple opportunities to win this game. They should have won this game. And instead, we're looking at 3-2. And we're looking at a path to a bowl game. After Rutgers, we got Michigan at home. Going to be a tough one. It's Michigan football rematch of a national championship game. Which should be the 4-1 Huskies versus the 4-1 Michigan if they beat Minnesota today. That's what it should be. But instead, it's a 3-2 Huskies hosting probably a top 10, 12 team in Michigan. Let's say we lose that game because we're not going to win that game playing the fashion we did without executing. We're 3-3 at Iowa. Tough place to play. We might be 3-4. And if you want to get to a bowl game, you got to beat Indiana, UCLA, and either beat USC, Penn State, or Oregon to get to 6 wins. Now, I think we can do it. I think we're going to turn things around. The ability for this team to move the ball around the field position, defense looks good. It's just mistake after mistake. Even the Wazoo game in the Apple Cup was mostly mistakes made by the Huskies that cost us the game. Penalties, bad decisions on the goal line, and we got to figure out our goal line offense because it has not been crisp at all. You know, they always say in football, it's one thing to move the ball in the middle of a field, but once you get inside the 20s, it's a little bit different. And that's exactly what I feel like. The red zone has been an absolute disaster for the Huskies, and having that red zone being a disaster the way it is has resulted in us being able to not finish up games, not being able to win, plain and simple. I want to talk a second about Jonah Coleman. That's another thing. Coleman should have got the ball all 4 downs there. In the point where Will Rogers missed an open man, the ball was tipped. We should have just got the ball 4 times in a row and just give your best player an opportunity to go score a touchdown. I know he got on 1st and 2nd down and didn't get in, but just give it to him on 3rd and 4th down and just see what your best player can do. Coleman had an amazing night, 16 rushes for 148 yards, 9.3 average. But the thing there that gets me is the 16 carries. I know you don't need to give a running back 30 carries, but Coleman should have had at least 5-6 more carries, and maybe that would have been enough to win the football game. Tough game, disappointing game, and one of the most frustrating Husky games I've ever watched. I guess we'll see you guys for Michigan next week, and hopefully we turn things around. My name is George ONTAP. This is part of the Seattle ONTAP and Sports ONTAP network. Comment in, do you think the Huskies will get to a bowl game this year? And make sure to use the Rebet app. Use promo code ONTAP if you want to bet on games. And thank you for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.